Hey, what's going on? I'm back. This is another episode of the Reporter Vlog for with the last story of the day. A very interesting story, a very surprising story. One of the type of story that you pretty much would say to yourself, "I did not know that." Red Lobster has a racial history behind it. Yes, Red Lobster. It's really surprising, but man, you wouldn't think that that'd be a type of restaurant chain with a racial history behind it. You would you pretty much think Denny's would be the one, and right offhand, and any other small time behind the counter type of restaurant would have anything with a bad racial history behind it. In other words. But let's get right to it. Let's give this story a safety net. Okay. As far as the credits, is brought to you by CNN, Big Boy, by Nathaniel Myers' son, CNN 5 minute read, updated 2:41 Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, January, not January, but June 8th, 2024. New York, communities around the country are losing Cheddar Bay biscuits and all-you-can-eat seafood deals. And have troubled Red Lobster, as troubled the Red Lobster closes around 100 U.S. restaurants with up to 135 more closures looming. Let's repeat that again. As troubled Red Lobster closes around about 100 U.S. restaurants up to 135 more closures looming. Red Lobster's decline is particularly a loss for many black diners who formed a loyal base for the brand and still account for a higher share of customers than other major casual chain restaurants, according to historians and customers and former Lobster executives. Red Lobster cultivated black customers. It has not shied away from the customers base like some brands have. Clarence Otis Jr., the former CEO of Darden Restaurants from 2004 to 2014, when the company was still owned the chain, told CNN after Otis became CEO, Sacramento Observer columnist Marcy Dio Cannon wrote that it is only fitting Red Lobster had a black CEO because if there is any restaurant in America that most African Americans love, it's Red Lobster. In the 2015 presentation to investors, Red Lobster said 16% of customers were black, 2 percentage points higher than the black share of the U.S. population. Red Lobster did not respond to CNN's request for comment on current customer demographics. The chain hired black workers and served black guests from its beginning in the South in the late 1960s. And black celebrities such as Chris Rock and Nicki Minaj worked there before they became famous. Didn't know that. Minaj later joked about being fired from all three or four of the Red Lobsters where she worked over lobster lobsteria drinks and Cheddar Bay biscuits and with Jimmy Fallon. And Beyonce sang about taking a romantic partner to Red Lobster in her 2016 song Formation, which addresses police brutality, Hurricane Katrina, and black culture in America. Red Lobster attracted more both working for class and affluent black diners during the 1970s and 80s, at a time when many sit-down restaurants were unwelcoming to black patrons, said Marcia Chatelain, a professor of Africana Studies at the University of Pennsylvania and author of the franchise Golden Arches in Black America, which explores the relationship between McDonald's and black customers. Red Lobster's early location near shopping malls also helped it grow with black customers, she said. Um, the placement of Red Lobster outlets near shopping malls coincided with the opening of more retail options for black African Americans after the Civil Rights Act of 1964. She said in an email, the style restaurant was appealing to people seeking a fine dining like experience while dealing with the uncertainty of how they would be treated at local businesses. Founded by Bill Darden, Red Lobster was racially integrated when it opened in 1968 in Lakeland, Florida. Hiring and serving black people was not a revolutionary step by Darden, and he certainly was far from the first to leap at the opportunity. It was another marker of racial progress for black people in Lakeland and changing in the changing South. In Lakeland during the early 1960s, local civil rights activists picketed businesses and movie theaters that denied entry to black patrons, forcing them to integrate. Although Red Lobster's opening came 4 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, mandating desegregation of public accommodations, many schools and businesses still were segregated. Some closed rather than integrate. Some closed rather than integrate. Red Lobster was always very open and receptive to us, said Beverly Boatwright, who was active in the sit down movement in Lakeland, while attending the all black high school along with her mother, a leader of the local branch of the NAACP. We never had a problem with Red Lobster. There were other places where we did have struggles in the city, but Red Lobster was not immediately a popular spot with black customers in Lakeland. In the mythology of Darden as a civil rights pioneer, they had that has grown in recent years has been overstated. Red Lobster was not a place very frequent where we frequent a lot, whole lot in the early days. Said Al Earl Dwight, who graduated 2 years after boat ride in 1968. Most black residents did not have the means to go out and eat or to eat. Dwight said when they did, they went to establishments run by black owners in Morrison's Cafeteria, the largest cafeteria chain in the South, which had been integrated for several years and had more black employees. In corporate lore, Darden's first restaurant, the Green Frog, was opened in 1938 in Waycross, Georgia. It was desegregated. Darden had been lauded in various articles as a social crusader who stood up to Jim Crow in defiance of segregation laws. On Darden's restaurant's corporate website, a company mentioned the Green Frog, and it says its founder welcomed all guests to his tables. Want to do it. But the Green Frog did not welcome black diners initially, according to black people who grew up in Waycross and recalls that the Green Frog, which closed in the 1980s. John Fluker, a former mayor of Waycross, said black people worked in the kitchen, but the Green Frog did not welcome black customers. Green Frog reflected the racial norms of the time in the South. Georgia, said Waycross resident Horace Thomas. They didn't open the doors for black people. He said everybody was like that. Although black customers did not immediately frequent Red Lobster, the chain gradually built strength with black patrons as it expanded in the South and across the country. Red Lobster developed a reputation of being friendly and open to black customers, in part because it had black staff when a new restaurant opened. And it later developed marketing strategies to court black diners, says historians and former executives. Arthur King, who was hired in 1971 to manage a black lobster, as hired in 1971 to manage a black Red Lobster restaurant, was one of the company's earliest black employees and stayed with the chain for 36 years. Red Lobster was named one of the signature dishes after the King, Walt's favorite shrimp. King died last year. We They've been loyal to us, and we've been loyal to them. Beverly Boatwright said, "We went there because the food was delicious and was only a place you could get good seafood." Huh? Huh? Oh, just a minute. Uh, 120 is almost time. I'll probably some probably some what you want turkey? Some more turkey burger? Okay, I got one more leg left. I'll put, yeah, you want that with a turkey burger? Huh? Oh, okay. All righty. All righty. Ready. I'm back. They've been loyal to us, and we've been loyal to them. Beverly Burritt said we went there because the food was delicious. It was the only place you could get good seafood. It was a luxury. Red Lobster's cuisine was also a major part of popularity with black diners. Outdoor fish fries and with catfish, crawfish, and other seafood have served as popular tradition in black communities. With Robin Autry, a sociology professor at Wesleyan University who studies race and wrote recently on how black red lobster's downfall hits differently with black communities. Red Lobster brought the outdoor fried fish experience indoors. Autry said for many black people, it became a marker of status to move from outdoor fish fries to sitting down with menus and being served. Okay, yeah, it's very interesting right there. Like I said, you wouldn't think Red Lobster would have that type of background, but they uh, they changed for definitely the better. Personally, I never went there. Yeah, personally, but like I said, it's an interesting story. But it's gonna do it. I better get on off here because my other job is on it. About ready to show up. It's about this, but like it's about ready to be time for my other job. Um, y'all gonna do? Y'all have a good one. This is another episode of the reporter vlog for June 10th, 2024, on a Monday afternoon. Y'all have a good one. Like I said, I'm gone.